Up next, we have Donna Gilmore from the Onofre followed by Mary Beth Brangham from Ecological Options Network. Ms. Gilmore, you are not able to speak. Please remember to unmute yourself and state your name for the record.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great, thank you. I've been studying this issue for over a decade now. This is a
hold on, Ms. Gilmore, hold on one second. Are you representing a group?
San Onofre Safety.
All right, state that again. Staff, please set the clock to 6 minutes. The group representatives will have 6 minutes each. Hold on just 1 second, Ms. Gilmore. All right, please proceed. Thank you.
Okay. This is Donna Gilmore representing San Onofre Safety. I've studied this issue very deeply and technically for the last decade. This is a photo of an actual canister lid at San Onofre. Notice the huge air vents, and you can actually see some seagull poop around the bottom. It's already starting to rust. And these air vents allow the fog and corrosive materials to come in and continually surround this canister. And the design that you got isn't the one that the Coastal Commission approved. No one knew at the time that every canister that's downloaded is being gouged by the Holtec loading system. And Edison and the NRC and Holtec have not been able to fix that. It still gouges. Every canister is gouged all the way down the length of the canister. And the proposal that they could take it back out and find a way not to gouge it doesn't even make sense, since they haven't even been able to do that when they put them in. The repair technology has not been approved by any body for this purpose. And there are cracks that are hidden from the surface, so it's impossible to use that. Go to the next slide, please. Okay. There's been no seismic evaluation for partially cracked canisters. That is required by ASME requirements. So that is missing from the report. The Department of Energy, December, announced a report admitting that there's a short-term risk of through-wall cracks. Once crack starts in these canisters, they continue to grow. And they admit that you cannot inspect or adequately repair these canisters. So we have conflicting reports. This report was Sandia National Lab. We have conflicting reports from legitimate experts that are conflicting with LPI on major issues. I think we need to take a pause, get all this other information in, and I would love to be able to spend more time with the coastal staff, because I know this isn't their area of expertise, and try and resolve these differences. This is too important a decision to not get fully vetted. And I was so happy to see when the initial permit was approved for the Holtec system that they recognized, include in the staff report, the facts about the facts these couldn't be inspected or repaired. And we need to revisit that so we can do the same thing again. I used to work in government, so I understand it from the inside, and I know what can be done here. Next slide. Even the president of Holtec that manufactures these has said on the record, ASME Section 3 Class 1 has very significant requirements for making repairs in these structures, like the canisters. So I, as a pragmatic technical solution, I don't advocate repairing the canisters. This is the company that makes them, that warrants them, that would normally be authorizing the inspections. And this is still sticking by this position. He's never changed his position. And Tom Palmisano, when I approach him on this, he says, well, I respectfully disagree with Mr. Singh, which is not an answer. Next slide. The Fukushima casts, they were thick wall casts designed to survive an earthquake and tsunami, which they did in Japan. Next slide. The Swiss, I searched the world, and the Swiss use thick wall casts, fully inspectable, enclosed in buildings for the environment. They were designed from the get-go to be inspected and maintained and have continuous monitoring. Edison has no plans to inspect all the canisters. Even their own visual inspection report said it wasn't an inspection, yet Edison management continues to call it an inspection. Next slide. The Swiss already have an on-site hot cell. This is the only other way beside a pool to replace canisters. Next slide. The features between thin and thick canisters, these still apply. All of these still apply. The only solution we have is to replace these uninspectable, unrepairable, unmaintainable canisters with thick wall casts. And that's going to require a hot cell. And we really need the Coastal Commission to do more research and to clearly clarify what we have today, what we can do today, and what need we do before these containers can be transportable or even adequately stored. This is technology that's used around the world, is a standard in the rest of the world. Next slide. So my recommendation, put a hold on this permit until more investigation is done. We need to use thick wall, maintainable, transportable storage casks before these thin canisters fail. Step 2, we need to store away from coastal risk in hardened buildings. We cannot do step 2 till we do step 1. There are no other viable options, and I wish there was, because I live here, I know you do too, and of all the state agencies, the coastal one has the most respect for protecting California. And I really urge you to put a pause on this approval until the rest of the evidence is in that you do not have right now to make a really good decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gilmore.